Lisa had every intention of taking my life that night. But by the grace and mercy of God and for the prayers of my mom and my daddy, God began to deal with me. Though the enemy was fighting my mind, telling me, go ahead and do it. You ain't got no reason to live. You ain't no good for nothing, and God will never be able to use you. Oh, you done made a mess of your life. But over in Haines City, Florida, I knew that there was a good praying church there having service. I made it over there in little of no time. I had that car wide open going just as hard as I could go because I knew where to find my help. I knew where my help came from, Sister Lisa. And when I walked in those doors, I just slipped into the back and I sit on the back row. Back there about maybe where Sister Barbara's at, somewhere thereabouts. And the service went on and nobody had no clue as to what was going on. But I want to tell you tonight, right there in that Holiness Church, God spoke life to me. And He let me know, Sister Lisa, that I had a reason to live. And there is a purpose for my life. So you see, I find a reason to get excited when He touches me, Brother Master. I find it a good cause to get excited when I've been touched by the Master's strong hand. Same way it was with little Brother John. He couldn't help but get excited. He went on to his house. The deacons decided they'd get together and they'd go and talk to Brother John and set the rules to him and set him straight. They pulled up and Brother John was out there in his field plowing the field, had his old mule and plow, walking behind that old plow just to plow him just as hard as he could. He looked around and he saw them pull up and, you know, they got out of their car and he says, they come up to him and said, Brother John, we need to talk. He said, yeah. They said, Brother John, is it necessary for you to get so excited? You see, when he gets so excited, they run over there and they try to hold his hands down, but every time they try to hold his hands, boy, his feet get to going. Then they hold his feet, his hands would get to going. There just wasn't no holding Brother John down. Amen. They just ain't no holding a good saint of God down. Amen. The devil might want to, but he can't do it. He can't do it. They said, Brother John, can't we work something out? Just don't get so excited. Brother John, he looked at him, he says, you see all this land where you just pulled up? See, what you don't understand, God doesn't bless me with all this land. I don't know how many children he had. I believe it was like 7 children. I don't know. He said, I'm 84, 86 years old, and I've never had to spend a day in the courthouse. I'm 86 years old and never had, so far I haven't had to go and visit the morgue. He says, this is my mule and my plow, and I'm still able to plow my own field. He says, if you just excuse me for a minute, if you don't mind, will you just hold my mule for a minute? I've got a reason to shout. In my body that I can stand here tonight and testify that my God is a healer, that my God is a miracle worker, that there is nothing impossible for my God. When the doctors didn't have the answer, when the painkillers wouldn't work, I got out there in those woods and I began to cry out to God, Sister Conyers, and immediately He didn't say, hold on just a minute. Come on. Please leave a message. I'm unavailable. I'll get back with you just as soon as possible. Oh, but no. When I got a hold of him, how'd I get a hold of him? Just a mention of his name. That's how far he was away, just a mention of his name. Amen. When I began to cry out to him, Brother Register, with all of my heart, all of the pain left. I had been touched by the hand of God.